Hi guys, since the last video I've done a couple of things. I have added this page as a DigiKit layout, so it's over here in my layouts panel, and I've just deleted those other items that we had before. So we're starting with a clean page. I also saved this as a DigiKit, so if I were to add items from DigiKits, you would see this layout here coming up in my DigiKit collection. So we're going to start with a clean page, and we're going to be making the simplest of backgrounds and materials using basic shape and some fonts. Now think of backgrounds and materials as your paper. They're the foundation of your project. The background is going to be the lower most layer of your project, and everything else is going to be built on top of that. Now the simplest way to make yourself some backgrounds, and what I'm going to show you are things that you can do well within the program. Simply just come over here to shapes, grab a square. That one has a transparency on it, so let me get rid of that. Okay, here we are. We're going to start with the solid. A solid square. And I'm not going to edit this out. I'm going to tell you what I didn't do. When you have a feature selected, if you don't come back and hit your selection tool after you take it off, it's going to keep that same feature coming back in. So I'm going to delete this square and start with and again, you don't see it over here, but I didn't take the transparency off. So going back up to transparency, changing this from linear to none, and now I'm picking up my selection tool. So now I have my solid. And for backgrounds, the simplest thing is just drag them into the background folder. Materials, same thing. Just drag them straight over there. And then if you want to go to save your DigiKit, you just come over here to Tools, DigiKit Creator, and there's that blue background we created, and there's the blue material. Okay, but we're going to take a step beyond that. Okay, again, you come over here, pick a color, drag it into the corresponding title area, backgrounds. Change your color, drag it in. Okay, but say you want something with a little more character to it, then we can come back up here to this transparency tool. We're going to pick up the type of transparency we want. Okay, linear is going to go dark to a gradual lightness. The white portion is going to make your area more white. The darker gets the darkness in there. And then you can just rotate these. Now, hitting that selection tool again, you can just drag this in here. Now you have a light colored background. Same thing. Just keep going. Change up the colors. Do them in the materials. Now, there's a third thing that you can do is you could pull these into your embellishment tags. And then when you come over to Tools, DigiKit Creator, it's going to show in your embellishment. But from here, you could pull them into whichever grouping you want to have it in. So those materials, they're out of my embellishments, but now they're in my materials and background. That also works well when you have a lot of items. You can put them all in your embellishments and then go to that DigiKit Creator page and move them all there. Now, another way to create pages, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to start with a new square. Go to my transparency, change it to none, selection tool. Craft Artist comes with over 400 styles within the program. So in the style selection, you can go up here and you can change your squares, your papers, as I'm going to call them. Now I have a lot of extra things in here because I've made my own. This is filled with a pattern. It's when the object you're going to be applying it to, it's going to convert it to curves, but we'll get into that more later when we're talking about doing styles and filter effects. Other styles that are in here that are pretty popular are wood grain. So right there I have a wood grain that I could pull over here, and now I have a wood grain background. I'm just going to add a new page, and I'm just going to add a couple of stars. And you see the backgrounds went immediately to the background layer. It's under, it's the lowermost portion of my project. If I go here on layers, you'll see the background layer has that wood grain. The layer above it has the stars. Now coming back here with the wood grain, if I try to change colors on this, it's not going to do anything. But if I take this same item I'm going to go to Tools, Convert it to Picture. Just hit OK here. Now I could change my colors. And again, I can drag it into my backgrounds, and I can also drag it into my materials. Coming over here just to show, dragging it onto this one, and again my background color has changed. There's the light blue, the orange, the solid blue that we began with. Get rid of this again. I'm going to add a new square. Now, Craft Artist also has a photo editing program built into it. So if we did like we did before, I'm going to change this to a lighter color. And we go to Tools, we convert it to a picture. I'm going to my selection, and then now I have these Photo Lab option. This one popped up that wasn't there before. If I go into Photo Lab and I go into, say, Effects, I can create backgrounds from here as well. See, it made those changes. We have sliders here. And again, I could pull this into my background or change it page, and there we have the background. And backgrounds and materials pretty much work the same, but materials are usually 6 by 6, backgrounds 12 by 12. They don't always have to be that way, but that's how the system usually puts them in, just like it would if it was doing a scrapbook page, because most scrapbook pages are 12 by 12. Now I'm going to get rid of this. Now I said we were also going to use fonts, and again, everything I'm doing now is going to be very, very simple. I'm going to take my text tool. I'm going to make this text a little bit larger. And right now I have Z Dingbats. So this right here is just ASDFGH on the keyboard. I'm going to pull this over into my embellishments because I'm going to be using this a little bit more. Now, if I take this, I can use these individually, or if I go up here to my tools and I convert them to curves, now they're individual pieces, and there's going to be one difference. I'm going to bring this back. If I click on this and I change font, it's going to be editable and it's going to just change. Once I convert it to curves, these items are no longer fonts, they're more like pictures. I want to use this one again too, so I'm going to pull that over there. So I'm going to clean up some of this. And also, I'm going to color. I'm going to color this one. And then I have options to duplicate it. So I can copy and paste it. Or you can hold your control key and just drag. And then there's another way to do it. If you select them, this program has a stamp mode, so I can just select it and just click across the board. And then I could change color and just click, change color, and click. I'm going to clean this up some. Again, this is the regular text. I'm using a Wingding font. I'm going to convert this one to curves. And I could pull these items over here individually. Get rid of some of these. And like before, I'm going to color this one. And I'm just going to stamp it. This is just doing random stamps. Now I could select all of these, pull it into my background. It's saying, do I want to group them or do I want to bring them in individually? I want them to be grouped. So I'm hitting yes. And that'll pull into my background as well. Now I am doing this very, again, simplistically and kind of sloppily, but it's just to give you an idea. I'm going to do another page. I'm going to make a square to fit the entire page. Go back here. Now I'm going to grab one of these. I'm going to copy it. Now I'm going to paste it onto this page. Made it too light. But again, I can use a stamping mode, and this can be a background paper. I can also lighten it using this transparency and make it into a background image. I can select all of these, group them. Once grouped, I can crop it. Now, I can take this select image, pull it over into my backgrounds. I could also pull it over to my materials. Come back to the page where we were changing things up. And that's a new background image. And again, everything done here is being done very quickly, very simplistically, just to give you an idea. And we will build on this more. And that is going to wrap it up for making backgrounds using shapes and fonts.